Welcome into this week's Arkansas Football Recruiting Report. I'm Courtney Mims, and he is Otis Kirk, but you might be wondering who the special guest we have joining us is. There he is, Gavin Garretson. He is a three-star 2025 tight end out of Pleasant Valley High School in California, and he just committed to the Hogs back on October 22nd after he took a visit to the LSU game. And so, Gavin, I'm going to start off by asking the question that really everybody wants to know. What about Arkansas made you want to commit?
Um, there's obviously the Southern hospitality, which is a very real thing, and I had no idea what it was until I, saw it for myself when I was in Arkansas. But honestly, the one thing was Coach Pittman's respect for my family. Growing up, like my values were always, my faith and then family right after that. And I think the moment I knew I was going to commit was during the hog walk, and Coach Pittman went straight to my mom and gave her a hug. And that showed me it was like this guy really, the respect he has for my family on such a big day, like a game day against LSU, and even more so, with thousands of eyes on him, to go to my family and show the love and appreciation he has for them being there, really meant a lot to me. And like LSU or not LSU, like that game didn't turn out how they wanted it to, but he still, in all the commotion and all the stuff that was going on, he found time to reach out and come find us after the game and make sure that we knew that we were, wanted there. And like I said, like I told Otis this before, but most of the things I do in life, I do with the support of my family. And immediately after that, my parents knew that Arkansas was the right place for me, just because they showed the ideals that I was taught growing up. You know what I mean?
That's a great answer. And we hear that from a lot of commits about Coach Pittman and his attitude and how they get treated by the program. What about Coach Turner and the tight
Yeah,
ends room? Anybody there that kind of made you go, "Oh, I love the coach there. I love the guys in that room that they have." I'm sure you got to talk to some of them maybe and communicate with some
yeah.
of those guys.
Well, Coach Turner is, I mean, just being able to talk with him for, the couple hours I was able to talk to him, it was incredible. Like he knows so much about football inside and out that there's stuff that I've never even thought about that he was, talking with me about. And it's like it shows that, I've been playing football my whole life since I was 6, and like I just have so much more to learn, and that's where I want to learn. And like I talked to a couple of kids in the tight end room, and I got a chance to talk to Luke Haas a little bit, and that was incredible. I mean, he's a really a special kid, and being able to be in the tight end room with himself or himself and a couple other kids next year, and hopefully, the next couple of years is going to be really special. And Coach Fishback as well. He's the guy that recruited me, and having that connection there because he went to my crosstown rival school, and even though he did, it's all love because without him, none of this would be happening. And that's really special having a Chico connection there. But no, they're all those coaches there. Like it's such a special place. Like what they say about the SEC, it just means more. And so I got a chance to talk to Coach Turner about him coming from Stanford to the SEC, and the one thing he pointed out was about 45 minutes before kickoff, the student section was already full. And he looked at me, he said, and I'm not, throwing shade at anybody, but he said, never in my time at Stanford was the student section ever that full. And so, it's and I'm sure he's not lying because I mean it was next level. And yeah, so Coach Turner and Coach Fishback are really special individuals, and I can't wait to be spending my time with them.
Yeah, he's not lying. I have a friend who went to Stanford, and they went to an SEC football game with me, and they were like, "Whoa, this is just different. It's just different," and they
It is.
understand why it just means more and all of that. I love to hear those stories, and I know the fans do as well because they like to hear exactly why you chose to come to Arkansas. Arkansas is a far ways from California. I mean, how
It
does your
is.
family feel about that? Doesn't your brother go to? Does he go to San Diego State? Am I correct on that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And you were originally committed there, but then you flipped. So you've got to give us some backstory there of like how the family feels right now. I've got okay, wait, you were committed to San Diego State, and now you're going to Arkansas. I mean, how do they feel about all of this?
Well, my dad's dream was to have 2 kids playing together in college, right? And so, like, Gabe and I, my brother at San Diego State, so my oldest brother, Grant, is at UC Davis, and, Gabe, who's at San Diego State, he and I went all through, middle school and high school together. We were always on the same team, and, I was like, I love San Diego State, I love the coaches, I love the people, um, but I remember making a promise to my dad when I was a freshman. I said, "Hey, I want you to know now, like, I'm gonna play football at the highest level possible. Wherever that is, that's what I'm gonna do." And, you know, I didn't fully believe it until about senior year when I knew, like, beginning of this year, when I knew that it was a real possibility. And, yeah, like, I prayed about it. I mean, that's what my whole life's been dedicated to, is like making this dream come true. And so when I committed to San Diego State, I really did love it. And I was like, man, like, I couldn't wait to go there. But Arkansas came through, and I'm like, hey, this is a real possibility. And this is SEC, this is what every kid dreams about. And when they offered, I was in shock for about a week. It took me a while to wrap my head around it. But yeah, it was like, my parents obviously are gonna miss me, but it's a 3-hour plane ride to get home. I'm gonna come home from graduation to make mama happy, so she can see her last son walk the stage. Um, yeah, so they're really excited for me. I mean, I'm gonna miss my family. I love them to death. But part of growing up is taking your own individual steps. And, this might be a bigger step, but that's just, how life pans out. It's God's plan. And I think, they're really happy for me. And you know, yeah,
Yeah, I'd spoken very mature right there. I mean, you have to make, at the end of the day, it's a business decision, right? That's what you hear so often from athletes. And they love going, they love being close to family, but at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you as an athlete. And so
no,
I really respect that. And I know your
thank you.
family supports you. I only say that because I'm like, man, California, Arkansas, that's a long, long way. So I'm sure they'll be here and they'll be supporting you when you step foot on campus. But I'm going to turn things over to Otis now. I know he has some questions for you, especially
Awesome.
about what you've been doing in high school as well. So, Otis, the floor is yours.
Yeah, first I want to say we talked just a little bit, but I told you congratulations on the 5-0 in the conference, and you
Yes,
said the
sir.
season just begin the real season just begins. Talk about winning conference 5-0, Gavin. Just talk about that, just what that means to you to win the conference, and
So,
what's the outlook for the playoffs?
well, very, very thankful and very proud of my team. I mean, our defense has 31 points allowed in 4 games. One of the games was a forfeit from the other team just because of some stuff that happened. But in 4 games, our defense allowed 31 points. And quite frankly, we're playing with an energy that we haven't played with before. And so this is the first time in my high school experience that we've won league and we've won the conference. Um, having that said, it doesn't matter anymore. It's great. It looks good on the back of a shirt. But now the real season starts. We have at max 4 more games, but now you got to go 1-0 every week. So we have a bye this week, and I'm glad we have a bye to let our kids get healthy and
Yeah.
But we need to keep playing the way we've been playing, and you don't get rings for a league championship.
Arkansas, since they joined the SEC, have had 2 Mackey Award winners. DJ Williams, who works for the station here, and Hunter Henry, who's with the New England Patriots. But is that something that you look at? And Luke, certainly, I would think is going, if he stays healthy next year, is going to be a candidate for that award too. Definitely. So is that something that impresses you, to know that the tight ends at Arkansas are getting that kind of recognition?
Sir, it definitely is something that impresses me, and I have looked into it. And like I said, I mean, the culture there is incredible, and looking at those dudes play, it's no wonder they're getting that recognition. And I think, like every kid's dream, my dream is to go play football after college, right? But right now, I'm just focused on staying healthy and doing what I can. Hopefully, bring some hardware to Fayetteville in the next couple of years. But yeah, it definitely is something that impresses me. And I have no doubt that the coaches at Arkansas can turn me into that level of an athlete and that level of a player.
Did any? I know you're coming to Arkansas to play tight end, but I know you played tight end and edge there at your Pleasant Valley. But did any of the schools recruit you for defense,
Yes,
Gavin?
sir. UC Davis was my only offer for defensive end.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And yeah. So and I love Davis, that's where my oldest brother is. And like I said, I think there's nowhere else I'd rather be but Arkansas is the only way to really say it.
6'7", 240 for anyone that doesn't. Is that still the right size, Gavin?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 6'7", 240 for anyone that doesn't know. That's a big target for Taylor Green, Malachi Singleton, KJ, and those guys. Grayson Wilson and all the quarterbacks. It'll be here when he gets here. But you what for someone that hasn't seen you play, what do you feel like you do well at tight end? Obviously, I I know that Arkansas puts maybe a little bit more emphasis on blocking than some schools do with the tight end. Talk about what you feel like your strengths are and how good a blocker are you, in your opinion? Not bragging on yourself, but just truthfully.
Yes, sir. Well, I think blocking and I think blocking is a strength of my game. With the God given size, it's played to my benefit having that reach and having the extension on a lot of kids. And I think the best thing about blocking is that the tight ends aren't going to be the superstars on the field that get the ball and score all the touchdowns. That's what the receivers are for. That's what the running backs are for. I'm hoping that we get some of that. But I think the best part about it is no matter what, if you're having a good game, bad game, if you're not getting the ball, you can go put somebody on their back and clear away for one of your teammates. And so I think that is probably the best and favorite part of my game is blocking, just because no matter what's going on, you can always do your job.
You were actually the only tight end in high school they took this year, and there were some other kids I know thought about wanting to come here, but they weren't that big, and I think Arkansas probably didn't want them because of their blocking. And then you came along. Just You feel like though, how good a receiver are you? I mean, how many catches? You know how many catches you have this year?
Yes, sir. I have I think 19 catches for
Okay,
about 320 yards and 5 touchdowns going into playoffs. Um,
yeah, I think
I mean, I know I can catch the ball, like I said, but I know I need to work on, my speed, especially playing at the SEC level. Speed, and you got to be able to go and get the ball. Like there's no more. You can't let the ball come to you, and I think that's something my dad's taught me since I was little. Like it's like basketball. You have to go rebound the ball, and in football it's the same way where you got to use your height and your length to go grab the ball. And I think definitely when I get there, I'm gonna have to work on my speed to be able to get, past the linebackers or whoever's covering me at the time. But yeah, I know I can catch, but I know that there's a long way to go and I know that I can be a lot better as well.
yeah, I knew you'd had quite a few catches. I had your stats when you committed, but I know you played quite a few games since then. When do you get to Arkansas? Are you midterm or will you
Yes,
come
sir.
in May?
So I graduate in December and I move into my apartment at Arkansas January 10th. So I'm a midterm or mid-year transfer and yeah, so I mean it's it's a bit of a workload, but it's definitely worth it.
How big do you think that is to be able to go through spring ball? Because they're
Huge.
short on numbers in the tight end room, and you're going to be able to go through spring ball. How big is that?
I think it's huge. Being there, having 6 months to adjust instead of having,
Yeah.
3 weeks to adjust is huge. Um, find out more about the program, be able to get, with the team and build some chemistry. Excuse me. I think it's huge. And
Yeah.
like you said, the numbers are short in the tight end room, and it was a shame that they lost 2 of the tight ends. But having that said, every coach always preaches his next man up, and so if I can get in and help right away, that's what I'm obviously trying to do. But yeah, like I said, I know I have a long way to go, but I know that I'm ready to do what it takes to get there.
You're a tight end in the NFL, maybe now, or a former player in tight end that in the NFL that you look at and you think, man, I love that guy, or I'd love to play like him, or just some tight end that you've been attracted to? Is there a tight end like that?
I really love George Kittle and Sam Laporta from the
Yeah.
Lions. So Kittle, because I think he's probably the best blocking tight end in the NFL right now. But mainly because he just finds joy in everything, like he knows how much of a blessing it is to be able to play football in the game we love, and he just focuses on that. And Sam Laporta, mainly because, I mean, he came in as a rookie, he dominated, but he kept his mouth shut. He didn't let everybody know how great he was or how great of a tight end he's going to be. He did his job and he put up numbers and he helped the Lions get to the NFC Championship. They didn't win. I have no doubt that he's going to pan out to be a great player, obviously, but he dominated and he let his game speak for itself.
That's probably most of mine, Courtney. If you've got any more for us.
Yeah,
Man, I
we'll wrap it up
appreciate
here.
you coming on.
Honestly, some great answers there. It's been amazing
Yeah.
to get to hear from you, Gavin, today. Honestly, very mature answers. I love it. It's like I don't believe you're still in high school. Genuinely, I feel like some Hog fans might feel the same way listening to
Yeah.
this interview. And some great role models there for you in the NFL. I didn't ask you about this. We talked about coaches a little bit, and then I went, oh man. We haven't asked about this. A name that has been brought up so much this season is Bobby Petrino. And so what do you think of him? What do you think of the Hogs, OC?
I mean, he's a legend, and when when my head coach, Coach Mark Cooley, when he heard that Arkansas was going to come through and offer, when he talked to Coach Pittman, the first thing he said, he's like, "You're going to have the opportunity to play for Coach Petrino." And I didn't realize that Coach Petrino was still there. Like I forgot that he was still the offensive coordinator. And I was just, I mean, blown away. I've talked to Coach Fishback because Coach Fishback works with Coach Petrino personally. And just the offensive mind that he has and like being around the game and the talent that he's been around. It's like like I said, I'm still in shock, I don't really know what to say. So I'm really excited and I know that he's gonna put me in a position to succeed. And like I said, it's on me now. So whatever happens, they've given me the opportunity, and it's kind of the ball's on my court.
And you said, earlier on in this interview that, you told your dad, your goals and your dreams and that you wanted to play at a high level program. And if you had the opportunity to do that, you would do that. And so I'm going to ask you now, I mean, probably your long-term goals is make it to the NFL, right? And play, if you have the opportunity to play in the NFL, you will one day. How do you think Arkansas will help you achieve those goals?
Well, the scouts are going to say, "Hey, who's in the SEC?" I mean, you look at the draft every year, you hear a majority of the names called from the SEC, and like I said, the Hogs are in a position to succeed, and especially with a lot of kids being young and coming back, like Talon, even Malachi Singleton, he's going to help out. Luke Hawes, they have all these guys that are coming back to succeed. And when a program wins, the scouts are going to look at why are they winning? Well, who's helping them win? And so if I can help the program win, I believe I'm going to get that opportunity. And that's my main goal. Like I told Otis, is hopefully bring some hardware back to Fayetteville before we think about anything else. But yeah, it's bigger than myself at this point, and I'm hoping that I can help the Razorbacks do obviously what every team aspires to do and go win.
Absolutely. I know Hawk fans are going, yes, come here and do that and help us do that for sure. I know they're excited to hear you say that. Gavin, that was incredible. Great stuff there. Anything else you would like to add? Anything you want to say here at the end of the interview? Anything you want to say to Hawk fans? Just anything else you want to add here?
Yeah, I just want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, obviously, for putting me in this position. I want to thank you guys for your time, and woo pig suey, baby. Let's get it going.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much again, Gavin. You were great today. And we always, again, anytime you want to come back on the show, please do. We'd love to have you once again. But that's going to do it for this week's Arkansas Football Recruiting Report.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next Sunday.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, man.